I'll hold that up. Hold it in.
Hold your penis.
Drag the balls.
Hold your wankers.
Sustain the nuts.
Alright, we'll go this. We'll say hi to Fucko.
Hi.
Check. Check. Jack. We got audio.
Bop, bop, bop.
Okay, man.
Ba, ba.
I think we're rolling. All right.
Okay, kids, let's go.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
It's the wrong song.
You guys are so funny.
Hello.
Are we going to put Metallica as our intro music? And get sued?
Penis face and R2 dickhead.
For what?
If they want us to promote their
Anti-exposure. People start selling the albums.
band. They want
Back
us
to
to
the
promote their
fucking-
bullshit band. Bunch of 60-year-olds trying to be cool.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
All they are. Good day.
Oh, dude.
Good day, Galaxy. Rogue Squadron back at it again. I'm Mopar.
I'm Commander Cody.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Witch Hunter back at it. As always. Appreciate
Always
it.
in. Appreciate your support. Yeah, man, we're jazzed up. Metallica album came out. Mando finally did something good. It was nice in Ohio.
Snowed today.
And immediately snowed today. We had a nice run there, honestly. It really got me kind of back out.
Oh, yeah. This past weekend was like
Walking and
top
hiking
notch.
and trailing and everything. So, yeah, it was nice, you know.
Did a lot of yard work, picking up sticks, as it were.
As it was.
Yeah, there's a bunch of so right behind my house is a bunch of woods, and there's a bunch of downed trees, whether it was like sickness or just dead shit, and it just looked terrible, and all the vines and shit. So I just went back there and started ripping all the vines apart, all the sticks. One, so it looks better, and two, so shit can start growing again.
Yeah.
But once I started doing that, I got like 3 piles that were like 6 feet high, and I'm like, fuck. What am I gonna do with all this shit?
You gotta burn it.
So yeah, well, I have that little pit, but
You
a lot
gotta
of the
stand there
sticks-
all day and just
I literally
cut
from
the twigs up.
Saturday
throw 'em in
morning,
there.
I was 9 a.m. I started a fire
Yeah.
and just burned all day, and I burned through about a pile and a half of this shit. So
You gotta. When you said pick up sticks, I said I'm never going to pick up sticks again in my life because that was one of the stupid, mundane things I had to do as a kid. Chores around the yard.
yeah, actually at DNR's house.
Pick up sticks and pull weeds.
Yeah.
It's like this. I'll chop wood. I'll cut the grass.
Just
I'll
picking
lay
up
mulch. Picking up sticks and pulling weeds are like the 2 worst things of all time.
I actually
Despise.
I agree.
Thank you.
I do like random weeding. Like if I'm outside and like the kids running around playing, I'll just like pick random shit because it bothers me.
I'm sure it's different when you're at your own house,
True.
but I'm like,
What's up, Shinobs?
I'll hire some 11-year-old for $2 an hour.
Actually, I got, there's some initiative still, some teenagers.
Yeah.
As I was standing outside playing with the kid, another kid came around on his bike and dropped off a piece of paper in a mailbox. I was like, what does he want? Fucking Jehovah's Witness wants me to join a cult. What the fuck?
Mormons, dude.
And it was like, hey, this is who I am, and I do weeding and lawn work, and just hire me for.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm like, I'll fucking do that. Come over, pick up sticks, bro.
I'll give you a booster pack of Pokemon cards each day that you come over and do yard work.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think he was like 16, so I don't think he's into that.
2 Pokemon cards. I'll keep
2
one.
Pokemon.
I'll keep one. You get the other one.
I'll pay you in
picking up
liquid
sticks.
deaths.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah, you get in trouble with their parents.
Give my son beer.
What the fuck? Where'd you get that?
We had a birthday party for my daughter yesterday, and I always just stock everything up with liquid death, and all the family members are like, "Now what is this?"
Dude.
It's a conversation we've had a million times.
Yeah.
Now what is this stuff? It's just water. It's like, yeah, it's on the can right there. It
At the
says
very beginning,
sparkling water.
I loved explaining it because it's a cool brand and it's very simple,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's like a cool metal brand. And
It's been like 4 years now.
now it's like, what is that? Is that a new energy drink? And I'm like, it's water.
It's
They're
water.
like, well, why?
Spiked?
Spiked, yeah.
No,
They're like,
it's water.
dude, chill the
Water.
fuck out. I was like, you don't want to know about it. You can't handle
You
it.
can't handle it. Yeah. If anyone asks that question more than once, I'm like, you don't deserve to drink it. Get out of my
It's
sight.
full of cancer.
Get out of my sight.
So,
You will die.
oh man.
So what do we got, man? We're still kind of reeling from some of the celebration news. We got a Mando episode that was actually good.
Yeah.
We could talk about that. Season finale's coming up in a day or two.
Yeah, and then the obvious one was Metallica. And I know we're not a music podcast, but when one of our favorite bands of all time drops a new album,
And it doesn't suck.
it not only doesn't suck,
It's very good.
it's fucking great.
It's very good.
This was, so to put it in perspective, they launched 4 songs prior to. It was 4 singles.
Yeah.
They were like average. One of them, Darkness, I thought was really, really good. Kind of stripped it all down, just chugging. And I'm like, dude, this is heavy. It's good. It's simple. It's a lot better than what I've heard.
Intro too long though.
But the other 3, well, outside of 7, so 2 out of the 4 were good. The other 2 were like, yeah.
Even though you just said the album's great.
My God. Well, I'm just saying, leading up to it, I was I'm split. Like,
the pressure's different when you put out a single versus when you put out, here's the album, and there's 2 songs that are like fine.
that might
When
be a good
you
strategy,
choose
though.
that to be the single. Well, yeah. I don't
Think
know.
about that for a second, though. That might
For
be a
them,
good
maybe.
strategy to release the worst songs on the album.
I
as
guess,
singles?
unless they're actually the worst songs, and then people are like, I don't know, I'm buying that album.
But it's like Star Wars. They're gonna buy it.
It actually is. That's so funny that you said that. It's like, even if I never listened to it once, I need to put it on the shelf next to the other ones.
I have it. It's mine. It's
I
mine.
have to have it. I am like that with certain things.
Yeah, I stayed up till midnight the night of the release because I just knew it was gonna hit on Spotify, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking chug through it.
Fanboy.
And I was borderline tears. I was just so happy to hear good Metallica again.
Yeah, dude.
And this thing that sucks is our timing of our birth. Well, just think of the releases that we've been coherent for.
I hate my birth.
Saint Anger, Death Magnetic,
Yeah.
whatever the last one was, I forget. Hardwired, and then this one. So it's like we've had 4 opportunities, and 3 of them have been like, fuck, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like Hardwired was, some of them were like, okay, I get it, but
Yeah.
good try. You
Yeah.
sound old.
There's 2 ways I listen to Metallica. One is I listen to the full album, and the other is like I make a playlist of like my favorite songs from 3 or 4 albums. I was just telling Mopar, I was like, I got a load and reload playlist combined. But like, I think it's nice that I don't have to do that for this one. I've had the album on shuffle, on loop since Friday morning.
It
Just
definitely has
nonstop.
a common theme. It's almost one of their only like concept albums. I feel like every song
Yeah.
has a very common.
They sound like they gel.
Yeah. Man, it's
There's no
it's so good.
instrumental, is there?
No.
There's no ballad either, is there? There's like 2 slow songs, but there's no like ballad, like one. Or
Slow is like chuggy.
Fade to Black. Yeah.
No, I'm fucking jazzed, dude. I'm still listening to it on like repeat.
Yep. Gotta learn all the songs. Gotta learn the titles still. That's the bad thing about streaming is like
Yeah, you never.
when I'm listening to a new thing, it's like it's on shuffle. I'm just like, wait, which one was that? I keep mixing them up, but
Yeah.
what's your favorite so far? Pick one.
Song?
Yeah.
I
I guess you could pick 2.
don't know the titles.
I really like the title track, 72 Seasons, and I really like Chasing Light. I like those 2.
I like the 11-minute finale.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm always into, as long as it like progresses, a long song's fine with me. It doesn't even have to progress quickly. Like as long as it goes somewhere and takes me back or whatever. And then I think Shadows Follow.
Yeah.
Or Shadow Follows, one of the 2.
One of them.
It's
Shadow
one,
Follow.
they're probably one of their more riffy ones.
Yeah.
Closer to
Hard to complain,
Master
dude.
of Puppets. No, I am very, very happy with it. Yeah, I mean, again,
Somehow Metallica returned.
but what was the difference?
They got clones.
It didn't feel like they were making music for their fans anymore. It felt like they were making music for themselves again. It felt like, no, fuck, I'm just gonna write cool shit.
I don't know. That's weird though, because I feel like they never.
You feel like they've never done that?
I do.
Death Magnetic was definitely a scrap at like.
I just feel like sometimes they just miss the mark. If you're a band and you go for 40 years and you put out 20 albums, I mean, 5 or 6 of them aren't gonna be that good.
Yeah. The thing
What are
that
you gonna
sucks is that like in the 90s they released 3 albums. In the 2000s they released 2 albums. So we're getting to the point where it's
And in 2010s, it's just 2 albums, but they're fucking 70, dude.
they're
That's fine.
good.
Take your time.
The other really cool, well, I think James voice, vocals, the entrance, the flow, him catching the rhythm is like top notch again. That was one thing that really captured me. I feel like Lars wasn't overdoing it. He kind of simplified stuff because I feel in the last couple albums he just like, let's fucking hit the snare over and over and over and over. And I'm like, all right, like you can hit the snare, but just ease up on it.
Good balance.
I felt like his stuff was tasteful. I mean, he's obviously not the most intricate drummer, but I thought everything that he was doing was tasteful. And then the biggest thing was the bass was prominent in like 90% of the songs. I was like, I can actually hear it, and it's adding to the music.
I know with Metallica, it's either 50-50, bass is good or bass doesn't even exist.
Yeah. So, well, that's it. I just got the vinyl. I always love the color vinyls, man.
Yeah.
And yellow, I've said it before, is one of my least favorite colors of all time. But it works so well with this.
Yeah, it's definitely got a theme. Yeah. I don't know. I actually haven't cracked mine open yet. I just looked online and I saw that the vinyls from Target, the vinyl itself is red.
I was listening to Ann Justice this morning, and my vinyl's actually green, and I didn't realize it until I put it. I opened it up and put it on. I was like, well, like because on the cover it's like white and gray, but the Metallica thing is in green. The Metallica letters are in green, so it like matches. And I opened it up. I was like,
oh wait, no, I know what you're talking about. Like the lime green kind of.
It's a little darker, but yeah. But yeah, I opened it up. I was like, I didn't even realize this was an exclusive or a color one. And I looked at it. I was like, I fucking like it, man. Love them. There was on the newest, on the 72 seasons, they had yellow, the standard black, and then there was like a stone gray. And I kept looking at it. I was like, fuck, that looks so cool.
Yeah.
I want a stone gray vinyl. I don't care from what band. I just want a stone gray one now.
The Parallax 2, one of the two discs is like marble. Yeah. It's got like kind of like the marbly cracks in it.
Yep.
It's like a light,
Yeah, my Coma Ecliptic's actually like a dirt brown with like streaks of white in it. And it's deserty. Like, fuck, it's so cool.
Actually, now that I think of it, all of my modern vinyls
are special.
It's all colored except for, except for one that I can't think of. But
what do you think? What do you consider modern?
Well, like
2000s and
like albums that just came out recently.
Oh, okay.
Like not represses of like Zeppelin and stuff.
Yeah.
Like all the BT Bam and Every Time I Die stuff that I have is all colored.
Yeah.
That's what you do. It's like a whole thing. I bet you like 15% of people that buy vinyls from bands don't have a record player and they just buy it as a collectible. I bet you money.
Speaking of all that, Metallica bought their own vinyl pressing company.
Oh, really? Blackened?
Yeah. Everything's blackened. I
like
don't know
their record label or whatever.
Yeah. But even their whiskey's like blackened. Well, their label company is blackened. Everything's blackened.
Good.
Blackened labels, blackened whiskey, blackened
all
drink
black
it.
Everything.
All black everything.
That's fine.
Kill, death, destruction.
I'm cool with it. I dig it. Good job, Metallica.
Good job. Yeah.
Good job, guys.
I know Lars is live with us. I continue to
support you. Even though sometimes you like Star Wars. Well, you said that already. You like Star Wars. Sometimes I'm like, whatever. And then I'm like, it's the fucking greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, as soon as someone bashes it, I'm like, fuck you.
Better watch your mouth, motherfucker.
Oh man, no, I'm very, very. It's one of those things. Like we'll slide out of this Metallica stuff, but like I don't expect anything else out of them. So when they do launch stuff like this, it's like, dude,
at this point, because there's not the expectation, and I think maybe that's why all of the celebration news from Star Wars got me so geeked. It's like once I got past the last couple years of Star Wars stuff post Episode 9, I'm almost just like, yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan of the universe, but I'm just really just along for the ride and whatever. And then when they actually look like they have a plan or they kind of have some things that are interconnected in some sort of way,
a plan,
I'm like, okay, all right, I see it. Let's go. I'm back. I'm here. I'm with you guys. I'll buy stock in Disney. I understand.
Yeah.
So that's where we got to. Anything gaming? Did you play anything?
No. It's been heavy basketball recently because the playoffs just started. Yeah. Cavs lost their first game, so I'm upset. But it's a 7-game series, so we got a few games left. But so that's kind of just been taking my time.
On in the background on Saturday while I was out in Cleveland.
Yeah,
wasn't really paying attention.
The games are gonna die off quick. There's 8 different series going on right now. 8 different matchups.
Playoff, yeah.
So they're going to get cut in half here probably next weekish.
Yeah.
So it's heavy right now.
Who's
Every day.
your bet for the finals?
Who do I think or who do I want?
Both.
I want. It's not going to
obviously.
happen. It'll be like, honestly, you know what would be really fun is like Cavs Lakers.
Oh, that would be fun.
But who do I think? You know, I'm gonna kind of go odd. I think it's gonna be like
The Spurs and the Jazz,
the
dude.
Spurs are one of the worst teams in the NBA right now.
I know, I'm just throwing out whatever I remember from the 90s.
Actually, Rambus, I agree. I think the Clippers might be a dark horse in this one, especially the way they handled yesterday.
Oh.
So I think who do I think? It's going to be Clippers. The East is tough. It could be Clippers Boston, which is honestly sucks because I don't like Boston. But
Clippers are, that's another LA team, right?
yeah,
Who's
it's
fucking
kind of
got two
their
teams?
bastard team, and I don't mean that in any bad way. But the Lakers are always like
Yeah.
that's the dominant dynasty team,
Right.
And the Clippers always got like second. They've never won anything. So it'd be cool to see them in it at least.
Yeah, it's weird when cities have double teams.
Yeah.
Who else does that? Golden State doesn't.
Well, California has 4 teams, but LA, but the Clippers and Lakers literally play in the same arena.
Oh, that is extra weird.
Yeah, so it's extra weird. I think the Clippers are getting their own arena soon, which is like
Good.
huge news because for the past fucking 50 years, been in the same place.
Oh, they've been around that long? I thought it was like a newer. I'm so out of the fucking.
the
loop.
Clippers?
Yeah.
No, they've been around
I feel like when I was into basketball, I never heard of that team.
because they were awful.
Ever.
They've never been good.
How do you keep a franchise around that long?
It's
It
weird.
sucks.
They
Ask
kind of
the Star Trek. Like, why? How's that
they got kind of
How's the
jazzy in the late
franchise starting?
thousands, but they never really made any noise.
jazzy?
Yeah, they like were in the playoffs, but they didn't do anything outside of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, good luck, Cleveland. Now that I live here again, I
Yeah.
support you. I
Cleveland,
guess.
I'm not going to lie. I don't care if anyone loves or hates Cleveland. The Cleveland Cavaliers team right now is super young
Yeah.
and super
Promising.
talented and very promising over the next like 5 years. But they all play for, there's like no egos.
Nice.
Like Donovan Mitchell is probably our
good.
star, but he still is like
Yeah.
egoless. So
Good.
you see a lot of attitudes across the league. If I'm the fucking best in the league, blah
Oh,
blah
yeah,
blah.
yeah,
and
yeah.
this team's just like, oh, we're playing basketball and having fun and destroying people sometimes.
It's hey, just we're echoing the same thing that we just said. Low expectations. I'm just gonna play basketball in Cleveland. See what happens.
Actually, and this is the most. I went to 2 games this year, which I don't think I've ever gone to 2 games in one season, which is ridiculous.
I'll go to a game.
I was fucking. Well, now they're expensive.
Well, now it's a playoffs. so
Yeah,
yeah.
now it's.
I'll go
expensive.
to any. Here's my thing about sports. I'll go to any sporting event. I just need someone with me that knows what they're talking about, so
Yeah.
they can kind of like. It's like I loved the UFC when I was. I had a buddy like that I was watching it with a lot. But yeah, I'm not gonna watch by myself.
I will.
Same with baseball. Same with football, basketball, all of them, all the balls.
All the balls, man. No, I agree. I understand at least.
You don't agree?
Yeah, I'll watch basketball.
You're the expert supposed to be
I won't even
watching.
watch my team. I'll watch random basketball games.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
watch college. I don't even like college basketball that much, but I love the game so much.
Can't do it.
But
I will watch Overwatch League though.
see, you lost me already.
Overwatch Season 4 started this last week. New character, new support character.
What is it?
What is it? It's a support character.
What is it though?
It's a man, I guess.
It's a man. Another
It's a human
one?
man. It's a Japanese man.
Human man.
No, it's cool. It was good to get back in. I was waiting, just like Star Wars, for some new
anything.
thing to pull me back in.
Anything, yeah.
Well, I skipped Season 3 altogether.
What are these seasons? I'm so far out of the loop.
It's mostly revolves around like competitive seasons. So it'll run for like
okay.
8 weeks.
Okay.
And then you try to like get as high of a rank and as many wins in that time frame as you can.
Then they do like playoffs or something.
For the Overwatch League, there are.
Yeah.
For like regular play, it's just like, you see how high rank you can get in that competitive season, and then they take a break, and then every season there's like, that's when like the new maps come out, new skins, new characters, stuff like that.
I'm not gonna lie, I've always thought esports were, I don't want to call it a joke, but it was like, I don't know, I just didn't take it as seriously. But it definitely, there's so much potential for fun. Like if you just tweak the whole game a little,
Oh yeah.
and it changes
It's
everything.
intense though. I feel like, I don't know enough about sports, so you could call me if this makes no sense whatsoever. But I feel like when I watch basketball, it's like okay, we all played basketball when we were, kids and PCYB, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
So I kind of know what's going on. The ball goes in the hoop, shit like that. But when I'm watching, even when I watch like Overwatch League, if I haven't played in a couple months, they're moving so fast.
Yeah.
There's so many like fucking angles, different characters, different movesets. I'm like, you have to be into it to even know what the hell's happening.
Yeah, I think there is a little.
so complex.
I think there's a lot of that in simple games too, though. Like I'll watch as I'm watching basketball, I'll scream out the play 2 seconds before it happens because I see the back motions and stuff, and the cuts and all that, and it's like, okay, this lob it now, and then like a second later.
But I feel like I don't know those plays, but I could still at least kind of tell. I could at least follow along.
Yeah.
But if I'm watching like
Overwatch, you
CS:GO or like Dota or that stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
I just flabbergasted.
I'm just like getting a seizure from like all the movements.
I feel it.
But yeah, that's it so far. We got a little more time finally, so
I guess my point
play some O-dubs.
was for esports. Like let's just use Overwatch for example. Like the way you could tweak a game. Okay, let me take it back to basketball.
Do it.
Like the introduction to, of a 3-point line was so monumental to the game, and now it's even like 30 years after.
Yeah.
'Cause they introduced it in like 19. God, what was it? Like 80?
Wait, that wasn't like always a thing?
No. The
Wow.
3-point line wasn't
That's so
a
weird to
thing in like the 50s, 60s,
That's
70s.
like baseball being like, oh, we got a home base now.
Yeah, no, it's a
That's
very
so wild.
and even after introducing it, it changed the game a little bit, but no
Yeah.
one like focused on it. But now, 30 years later, people, I mean, it's worth so much more.
Right.
Statistically,
Yep.
it's worth so much more.
Yeah.
If it makes sense, but
No, I know. I'm following you. I know what you mean. That's the same way too. In like when there's a new character, you can only have so many characters before you need to kind of add like a new mechanic or a new play style. So every time there's a new character comes out, it's just one in the whole pool, but it changes the gameplay of like everyone else.
Yeah.
So everyone's got to adapt, and there's shit on YouTube, and it's like
Well,
new
we see that-
strategies and
we see that with Battlefield. We played that. If it's a like a vehicle heavy team, you're like, oh fuck, get out your straws and your
it changes
you gotta change. Yeah,
exactly.
throw it down your mines and let's hide in the dungeons.
Yep. The dungeons.
There's no dungeons.
Yeah, unless you're playing locker, and then it's just mayhem.
It's all right. Star Wars again.
Ay, ay, ay. Ladies and gentlemen.
So this episode 7 was like, borderline mediocre. It was almost good.
All right, it is what 46,
See how far we
45.
can go without bitching.
I just want to know how long it's going to take for us to complain about something.
No, actually, what I wanted to do was 100% not complain. I want to focus 100% on this episode 7, and we can be critical, but I don't want to complain. So this,
But yeah,
well, how does this episode start? They're on Navarro.
No. The spy meets Moff Gideon virtually through the Skype through the probe droid.
The scout, the probe droid.
Yeah.
Fucking badass.
Yeah, dude.
First off, that's one of the high points of this whole season is seeing Coruscant. And,
that's
and
how it really opens up.
New
It's like-
Republic Coruscant is like so cool.
and she's in the underworld or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Undercity.
And then the fact that a probe droid comes down, communicates directly with Moff Tarkin, who's been like,
Gideon.
thank you, who's been, I don't even want to say teased. He's been like under teased.
Oh yeah, he's like he's back.
in dialogue, they're like, hey, I think Tarlock. I think Tarlock's out again.
Admiral Tarlock.
That's actually a decent name, so don't pretend like it isn't.
That's one of those where you just hit Y on
Lord
KOTOR
Tarlock.
character creator and just see what you
like
can come up with.
An evil lion in Lion King 4.
Tarlock.
Uncle Tarlock. But yeah, the direct communication and like the emergency communication of like, the Mandos are back together. You need to figure your shit
They
out.
fucked up the pirates, yeah. It's good to confirm that she's really a spy.
And I know one of our complaints has been these self-contained episodes, but it is nice at least we've gotten to the point where they're able to pull some of that and be like, okay, this self-contained episode, the Mandos got back together, and now this means this for this episode. So it's like, okay, fighting the pterodactyls we got somewhere with it eventually. Outside of that episode, at least it did, like, okay, they kind of melded the
I mean, we just watched the episode and then we were done with it, so we got to the next episode.
Yeah, I hear you. But
Wait, how long was that? A minute and a half?
Yeah, a minute and a half. That wasn't even. Yeah,
I'm just teasing. I know what you mean though.
But it's so it's fully confirmed that the spy is
She's still working for Gideon.
Gideon,
and Gideon's back, and then he closes the transmission,
dude, and walks into
walks
that fucking
past his clones, and then walks through like the fucking Phantom Menace red laser gates, which was awesome.
Yeah, I do have a question because I just realized this. Is that Shadow Council, that meeting, supposed to be happening on Mandalore? Is that where he is at the beginning of that episode?
I think he's there. Yeah.
Okay,
But everyone else obviously is.
I didn't really. I just thought like that's his quarters somewhere, and then he gets to Mandalore.
It is, and then I think
we find
once
out
we get to the end of the episode, we realize that
he's been there.
probably parked out on Mandalore. Yeah, the whole time.
And that's probably, dude. I'm unlocking stuff. So no wonder like whispers of Mandalore's not livable. They want to make it look as barren and just destroyed because that's where shit's happening still. So
Yeah, dude.
that makes a lot of sense. No, I like that.
Shadow Council though, Imperial Remnant.
Is that what they called it?
Yeah.
I know I just said that, but
Yeah,
dude,
all the
fucking
Empire stuff is there.
badass.
Pelion in live action. Thrawn's right hand man.
Is that who? Which one was that?
The white mustachioed motherfucker.
Oh,
Yeah. Shut the dude.
I've had enough.
Weren't you scrapped by Heir of the Empire? Weren't you dead?
Yeah.
Whatever.
R2 needed to explode a couple more
Apparently
times.
needs to explode. No, Grand Admiral. Well, Admiral Pelion was like Thrawn's number 2.
He was the one that was
Leading,
part-
basically.
partnering up with that other guy and saying, we're not going to give you the reinforcements and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that other guy.
Oh, that's right. Because Gideon was like, hey, you've been talking all this shit about
Thrawn. What the fuck?
goddamn it, Thrawn. I'm Tarkin's on my mind. I don't know. He's always on my mind. You've been talking all these promises about Thrawn. Where the fuck is he? Like, let's see his fucking face.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Blue bitch.
Patience, bitch.
Patience. Then he said, well, the fucking Mandos are back, so how about some fucking ATSTs
Yeah,
or
give me
something?
some backup,
Jesus.
dude.
And I do like that he's you can tell they're strong individually, but they're not quite 100% trusting and or working together yet.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that Gideon has turned the screws to be like, look, this is happening. This is what I'm doing. You need to give me some shit now because the Mandos are back. And I thought I took care of this, but sorry.
I have a weird hunch that Gideon might actually be one of the lower ranking people. I mean, they're all the same rank. But I feel like he might be actually one of the weaker people on the council.
At least,
but we've been seeing him as the main villain because he's like the antagonist for the Mandos.
he's the fucking bloodthirsty, power-thirsty guy.
Yeah,
That's why
it seems like he's kind of like he's trying to do stuff that's outrageous to like make a name for himself.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have as much power as everybody else there. That's the kind of the vibe I'm getting. Which is,
but isn't there
he's putting
power
on
in
a-
that, man? Doing
Yeah.
just crazy shit.
Yeah, to an extent, until Thrawn comes in, he's like, "You've wrecked my plans. You're gonna die."
Bo-Katan, she's castle, bomb it, fuck it up.
So no, it was great to see Imperial Remnant in like actually like a formal council, and then we hear that they've been purposely spreading like the rumor that they're all scattered and there's just like a few rogue people and a couple stormtroopers and it's all splintered, but they've been doing that on purpose.
It's
while
crazy
they
because almost
regather their power.
Almost the same thing's been happening with the Mandos.
Yeah,
Scattered,
there's
splintered,
a little unintentional, but yeah.
scattered, splintered, infighting. It's
Yep.
like that's the same thing.
So I'm really excited to see. I've had this question since 2015. I'm really excited to see where the Imperials stop and where the First Order takes over and how that's all going to happen.
So are we assuming the First Order's being built on Mandalore?
No, not on Mandalore, but it's happening. It's in the back. It's out in the secret unknown regions.
Another
realm. Yeah.
the Grundle pit.
And we don't know where Thrawn is. He could be helping with that. We have no fucking idea. But wow, that was a wet one. Sorry, guys. That other dude is Hux's dad, Brendel Hux.
The other one that allotted the reinforcements.
Yeah,
Approved it. Yeah.
that's Hux's daddy. From what I hear from comics and stuff, he's an asshole. Yeah, and they give him some Praetorian guards.
Dude.
Yes.
The trooper, that's one huge upgrade. The The enemy troopers have gone from stormtroopers
They've
up to these
changed.
fucking insanos, man.
Yeah. Yes. That's one thing I loved about the clones is like throughout the Clone Wars there was changes. They got new armor, phase 1, phase 2, etc.
I'm just saying in general, like the enemy troops are
Yeah,
no
yeah.
longer just fumbling, bumbling morons.
Well, yeah, it's both. Like
Death troopers,
original
and
trilogy,
all
it's-
this shit.
the stormtroopers are just the stormtroopers the whole time.
Yeah,
I guess they had scout troopers or whatever, but still. Like there's no big change.
snow troopers.
But now I feel like it's like they're constantly upgrading the shit.
Yeah. Are those so the suit that he has is like a bionic
Yeah, it's like
Beskar?
it's like the Dark Trooper, but it's manned by someone instead of being a robot.
I think that's actually how the comics did it too.
Yeah,
There was
I think it
4
started that way or
phases,
something.
and I know we've talked about this. I think there were 4 phases of the Dark Trooper, and the first 3 were just robots.
Yeah.
Droid, sir. And then the 4th one was a manned tech, like a thing you wore.
Yeah. Like
So
a
it's cool that they're like
Matrix
pulling
style,
from that.
Avatar style, yeah.
No, he looked fucking insane.
Oh,
so I'm not going to complain about this, but it was weird going through and waiting. It's such a Star Wars thing to do, guys. We don't even know who the bad guy is until the last fucking second. And I feel like,
That's my major complaint.
see, that's why I did like the prequels so much, because we get to see the workings of the bad guys along with the downfall of the good guys. We get to see Maul. We get to see Sidious
Yeah.
pull his strings and do his thing
Yeah.
with the council and the Senate and all this shit. And then we kind of see it culminate in episode 3.
Right.
But like in like one of the episodes they say, "Oh, I think Gideon got free."
Yes,
And then
Gideon.
we like 3 episodes later we confirm Gideon got free.
2 episodes later, we see
And then
him.
2 episodes later he's finally in it, and it's like, well,
Yeah.
sure,
Bad move.
but I would have been cool to see him doing stuff.
Yeah. Hey, we got, multiple factions of Mandos and no one trusts each other and they think Mandalore is haunted and they really need to band together and, reunite and retake their homeworld. What could we have as part of the plot that, forces them to come together under a
Yeah.
common enemy? Oh, I don't know. Moff Gideon, who's trying to steal their entire culture and all of their fucking armory.
What was the,
Like,
the 3 examples that he used? Like the fall of this gave us this. The fall of this gave us this.
I think he said clones, Jedi, and Mandalorians.
Mandos. Clones, Jedi, Mandos. Dude,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
He's trying to combine all of them.
Yeah, he's taking the best of what they had and destroying everything else.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
It's
cool.
brutal. No, it's very brutal. And I love that. I mean, obviously, it's sad, but it's perfect for the character. But yeah,
He's
it's
like a true bad guy.
Yeah.
I have so much appreciation for what Gideon has become, because he's been the carry through bad guy from season 1.
Yep.
He had the fucking Darksaber. Like, he has been the one true line, but
He's been
that
screwing
was
with
my
Mando
one
culture,
complaint.
yeah.
Like, I want to still see him, and the fact that he just
it's
kind of
a-
disappeared.
It's a big mistake to not bring him in like episode 1 or 2. Like finale of like the very last scene of episode 1 of the season, we discover that he escaped, and like that pilot finds the shuttle and sees like the Beskar alloy. Like that is how you end the first episode and kind of like trail him throughout.
Picture this, though.
No.
You start the first episode.
With the Shadow
Gideon's-
Council,
No. Gideon's in the cell on the ship.
that too.
And the ship goes dark, and you just hear a bunch of deaths, and
Yep.
you see him walk out.
Yep.
Or something like that, and then that's how it kicks it off.
Yeah.
So he's free, and that's in the back of your head the whole fucking time. So they don't have to say out loud, "Gideon got, or it was escaped." Gideon. I'm like, dude, can we just see it, and then we know,
Yeah.
and then it's still in the back of our head. Where is he? Where did he go? What happened?
Yeah,
And then they could slowly explain it.
it's not like it's a surprise bad guy.
Right.
Like if the bad guy doesn't show up until the last episode and it was a total shock or like a twist or whatever, that I understand. But when it comes to Gideon, who we've already established is like against the Mandos and stealing their shit, and they say in like the first or second episode, like he escaped his prison transport or his prison transport never arrived. I can't remember what they say. And then they just drop it until episode 6 or 7. It's like, come on.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. No, I'm still reeling from
big
my
miss.
idea. Like
The rest of it's
not
good.
only does it plant the seeds of Gideon's plot, but then it plants the seeds of, because you could like show little flashes of these random troopers that broke them out. Then you're like,
Yeah.
where the fuck are those things from?
Yeah.
And then you start reeling, because then and then when we see the undercover chick on Coruscant, we start making those connections early. Like, she might be in on it.
Yeah.
But instead, we're completely blind until she makes direct. I don't know. It's just, it's a
I'm
different
with
flow.
you.
It's a different process that I would have preferred. But
I'm with you. All territory we could have explored instead of episode 6, which was total weird side tangent.
At this point, because I was writing down kind of the highlights of this season so far, and honestly, one of them was like the mythical beasts that we've seen. They've all been really cool. It's just how they've been used has been kind of lackluster to me.
Like in this one.
Yeah. What was the beasts in this one?
They're riding on that skiff, and then all of a sudden,
yeah,
a
that-
giant fucking dragon just pops out of the ground.
Is that
and-
supposed to be a mythosaur?
No,
Okay.
it's just another also giant random beast. That's like the 5th time it's happened.
Yeah.
This season.
Though, yeah, that's how the whole series starts.
It's like,
with the ice thing that comes out
yeah.
after the bar fight.
Well, yeah.
That's the very first thing that we see.
Yeah, Crate
That
Dragon.
big walrus thing.
The weird Jawa Mudhorn thing. Yeah, there's been a lot of random creatures that pop out and threaten the main character.
The beasts themselves have been cool as fuck.
Yeah, but it's just overused.
I don't even want to say overused. I think how they're used, because I think it could be really cool. But no, I agree. I think
well, if like
I honestly thought
if it was the
mythosaur.
mythosaur that cracked out of the thing, and then like I don't know. I really don't want to see somebody ride it, but
No, in the back of my head, I thought when that
cool.
started happening, I was like, oh my god, is this a fucking mythosaur coming out? And I thought the first thing, Bo-Katan or someone's gonna be like, oh fuck, a mythosaur, it's fucking real.
we're gonna ride it.
And it's gonna like meld them even closer.
Yeah.
Because half the people on that skiff still didn't believe in the mythosaur. So I
Yeah.
thought like, dude, it's fucking true. I thought, yes, what
Yeah.
a cool badass. And then it just kind of like happened, and then they all just went their own way. And I'm like, oh well. First of all, they walked into a cave and went 10 feet in, and like, we're safe.
Right.
The fucking thing came out of the crust of the fucking Mandalore. What are you doing?
It's
Run.
it's living in the core of the planet, dude. You better run. I don't know. There's just a lot of characters stating the exposition, which bothers me always in everything. I just feel like the Mandalorians coming together early in the season, realizing that Gideon is a threat, and he threatens them, and they have to band together to do something about it. I feel like that'd just be more natural and more rewarding than like, oh, they're all at odds, and then Bo-Katan has to stand up and give a speech. Like, when I was a fucking royal whatever, blah, blah. And then they go out on the planet, and they're a little iffy, and then she has to stand up on the skiff and give a speech again. It's a lot of the... I don't know.
My biggest complaint about this last episode, and it's actually tying into the one before, they went out of their way to get this other group of Mandos
Yes.
exclaiming, hey, we found a new home planet,
Right.
Navarro.
We got to
Let's
go
there.
take Mandalore.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I was like, wait, because I thought in my back of my head, I was like, dude, this is cool. Like a fresh start on like a friendly planet that you have allies that you just helped
Well, I
save with the
think
pirates. And then you're just like, yeah, no, we're out. And it's
It
like,
might
whoa.
still be that because
Mandalore's just going to get fucked.
Gideon has a base there on
Yeah.
Mandalore.
So you think
But-
they're going to retreat, maybe, possibly, back to Navarro?
I don't know what's going to happen, dude. It sounded louder to you than it did in the mic, hopefully. Sorry, guys.
Good.
Who do we think is going to show up to rescue everybody in the last
Luke.
episode? No. Who else? Pick again.
Ahsoka.
No. Try again.
The answer's Ahsoka.
Maybe.
Listen,
Ahsoka is not really
I
fucking with
know-
Gideon. She's
I know-
waiting until
Disney tries to be clever,
Thrawn and them.
but they're not that clever. The next fucking thing
I was more so
launching,
going for like Boba Fett.
the next thing launching is Ahsoka. Let's not pretend like they're not gonna fucking cash in on the Mando season 3 Ahsoka action figure.
Well, no, I'd say Boba rescues them and then Ahsoka post-credit scene. That's what they did last time. That might make more sense. I feel like someone's got to come help them out, though.
The other, yeah, I don't know, man, because it's all leading to Thrawn, and
Yeah, eventually.
do you think they'll leave it that open? Like they'll some type of Gideon death, Gideon something, and they're just not gonna do Thrawn
I
at
don't
all?
think they're gonna do him yet. We got
Is there a season 4 confirmed?
not confirmed, but I'm sure
I've
it'll
heard the
keep,
opposite.
I'm sure it'll keep coming out until Filoni's movie comes out. Filoni's movie is supposed to wrap up the whole Mandoverse. I hate that term, but I'm sure we'll get 1, if not 2 more seasons before that movie actually comes out. So
I've heard the
there's more to
opposite.
explore. Why?
I
Canceled?
googled Mando season 4, and everything that popped up was like
Canceled?
confirmed, canceled, like unconfirmed, canceled. Like they weren't planning on doing it.
I think they just like the fact that it's not confirmed with the release date doesn't mean it's canceled.
True, but some of this stuff was like posted in 2019 that they're like, oh, that we're only
Really?
going 3 seasons, and then I looked at the next thing, and
Huh.
it was like April of this year, and I'm like, fuck, that was 2 weeks ago.
That's weird.
So it's probably it,
Well, there
it
were
doesn't
supposed
hold
to
any
be a
water,
couple
so.
more shows that ended up getting canceled.
There was like Rangers of the Republic, or
Yeah,
there was a
that's-
couple other ones that
yeah.
completely just disappeared.
Yeah. Well, cancellations, you know.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Actually, speaking of non-cancellations, Jedi Survivor is what, like days away?
It's Friday or next Friday.
I should pre-order this shit. You guys got-
Let's see. I got everything in my calendar. It's next Friday, the 28th. Yep. And Return of the Jedi is back in theaters
Return of the Jedi is back in theaters.
next Friday, 40th anniversary.
Fuck, we going next Friday?
Yeah, and then also, if this was 2010, we could go see it and then go to GameStop and get Jedi Survivor, but everything's digital now. Takes all the fanfare out of it,
Crying.
Weeping.
I'm weeping.
What else was I going to say? Imperial Remnant Shadow Council is awesome.
That's one of the
That
coolest
was
things
a
I've ever seen.
huge highlight.
The surprise, at least it was a surprise to me because I'm an idiot. The surprise manufacturing base on Mandalore
Oh, surprised to me
was
too.
one of the coolest things I've ever.
Yep.
I thought, as soon as they started running away, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, I saw those lights. I was like, oh God.
Where I've seen these tunnels before.
Yes, exactly. It was nice.
God, and the trap was okay. I was okay with it. I didn't think it was. It felt like very Ray Shields, like
Oh, totally.
close them in the room, and it was like,
Yeah.
you're like, all right,
Yeah, very, very much Ray
Fine.
Shields.
fine.
Um,
But at the end, Mando gets taken,
yeah, he's captured, dude.
and then the big dude gets killed in a fucking badassery.
Paz Vizsla takes everybody out, and then the Praetorian Guards walk out like, not today, dude.
Not to, I know. Good luck.
Dude, they are awesome. I've liked them since Last Jedi came out. So it's good to see them against... I mean, they obviously met their match against, like, Kylo Ren. Like, he'll fuck them up. But when they're facing, like, a regular soldier,
Yeah.
or even, like, a really great Mandalorian, dude,
The next level.
yeah.
I was borderline hoping he took one of them out, just to be like
After he...
Like all these normal troopers.
60 troopers.
I know, but all these normal I mean, advanced troopers, but they are still troopers.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking Mando. I'm taking all you guys out. It may be hard because there's a lot of you.
Yeah.
I was hoping he took one of them out, and then the other two were like, "No, okay, this is it. Fuck you. You took Terry out.
They were
fucking done."
efficient, like,
Oh yeah, it was
Secret
just
Service
like
murderers.
swing, death, stab.
Yeah, yeah.
They stabbed him after he died.
Got to stab him a couple extra times, dude. In Star Wars, you never know who's
I
coming
was
back.
happy with it though. I was
Yes.
like, dude, this is that felt like a Game of Thrones death.
Yeah.
Because they were just like stab. Nope. Everyone else get a stab in.
double check your stabs, everybody. please.
Everybody look.
We're doing
at
double stabs today.
double stabs today.
Fucking stabs on happy hour.
Praetorian Guards, man. I agree. So
It's nice.
just to reiterate, the advanced troopers, the variety of troopers, ever since Disney has taken the helm,
Yeah.
and we start with like shore troopers and death troopers, and it's like, dude, they just named this thing a fucking death trooper,
Yep.
and you can't even understand what the fuck they're saying.
Yep.
Badass. And then we gotten all the way to the dark
Blood
troopers.
They canonized the dark troopers.
But the Jedi, not Jedi Survivor. What's the first one?
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order.
Oh yeah, the Purge Troopers.
All of the troopers in that fucking game were cool as shit. The
Purge
Purge
Trooper
Troopers.
was awesome.
Every trooper in that fucking game, I was like, dude, yes, more of all of this.
Yes.
Even the
I forgot about those.
K2SO droids.
Yep.
Fighting those, I was like, yep, more of that.
Yes.
Those things are fucking savage.
Exactly.
They've just knocked it out of the park. Oh, the other thing I wanted to praise about this new episode, and a little bit of the last, was the actual Mandalorian fleet.
Yes.
Holy shit, that Star Destroyer, I don't know what they're called back when they're cloner equivalent.
I think they stole it from the Empire. It's
Yeah.
some sort of Star
But
Destroyer.
when you see that
Or a cruiser.
Mythosaur paint on the bottom of it,
Yep.
I was
that
like,
nice. That was
yes.
nice. That was nice. Yep.
If you're on, like, I'm just picturing the fact I was some schlummy on a planet, and I see this thing coming in from afar. I'm
Dude,
like,
you are Schlummy on a planet.
yeah, I am. Very valid point. Schlummies on a planet.
We are Schlummies on a planet. Yes, it was
But if I
beautiful.
saw that coming, I would shit myself.
Yeah.
And then, because I would think, oh shit, Empire or some shit. And then as it gets closer, you realize, oh no, it's a
Oh,
fucking
it's even
stolen
worse.
savage thing.
Yeah.
It was a very,
nice.
very similar thing to that random village episode with the ATST. Like you see it and you're like, oh, fucking Empire. And
Right.
then it
Oh,
walks
no,
forward, it's
Pirates
like,
stole it,
oh,
yeah.
goddamn graffiti all over this bitch.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. What'd you think of the Grogu Mech IG-11 thing?
You know, I was okay with it. That's where I'm gonna leave it.
Dude.
It was so
I gotta say,
childish. I know what you're gonna say. Go
I
ahead.
gotta say, when they walked up with little Babu Freak in there, you could hear my eyes rolling. I was like, please, the fuck are you doing? And then Baby Yoda gets in, and I was like, no, they did not do that. And then he starts hitting the buttons. Yes, no, yes, and I was perfect.
You were good.
I instantly loved it
Yeah.
because
The comedic
once you
part
have
of
a
it
kid,
adds
it's like, oh, that's 100%. Kid gets her favorite toy, pushes the button nonstop. Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes,
yes.
yes.
all the way
yes.
through they went outside, they walked down the streets. Yes.
No,
Yes.
it was hilarious. I fell in love with it as soon as Grogu got into it. And it's cool to see how excited he was. It's like, oh, I can talk with you guys now.
Yeah.
And like I can move around and I don't have to like
I can
have
actually
Luke
fight.
Skywalker like hop me with the Force.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought they were gonna give him a gun. He literally just basically got legs because it's just a suit. So let me ask you,
maybe he will come in blazing and save
I have a
Din
dumb
Djarin.
question. Outside of the comedic relief, which I agree.
Yes.
What's the fucking point?
He can walk at a normal pace.
He can float, dude. He floats in a fucking shielded shell. Why would
true.
you change that?
Because it's Star Wars.
That's why I was assuming they were gonna give him a gun so he would like,
Maybe they will.
even in a random like, oh, he shoots one guy randomly and he falls off a fucking cliff and you're like, okay.
Well, he's super strong now because he's in the droid suit. He did break up the fight. Little Mando duel.
Okay, you're right. So
Chest
they
duel.
did. I forgot about that.
I cheered
Yeah.
at that a little bit. That was nice.
Yeah.
Mandos are fucking brawling it out, and then little baby breaks him up. You can't argue with that, dude. Fuck all your culture.
I would have punched the baby.
Baby broke. Throw him off the side. Give him to the Mythosaur.
So the other
was fun, though.
really deep thing, so we're jumping a little bit, was the Bo-Katan confession.
Oh,
where
yeah.
she told everybody, she's like, where everybody's like, oh, they came in and raped us and took all our shit and blah, blah. She's like,
no, I raped you.
unfortunately, I had up my hand in that and I had my hand in your raping. Get it out of there.
I had my hand up in that, dude.
It was, I honestly was not expecting it. Maybe that's something that I should have known, like from Rebels or something, or Clone Wars. But I didn't realize that's how it went down.
I don't think
That
anyone
she literally
did.
just kind of gave up in hopes of saving some lives, and Gideon
Yeah.
was like, "Nope, thank you.
Yeah.
You're all fucked now."
Well, it helps explain the hatred. But it still...
They forgave her pretty quickly. They're like, "I get it. All right, let's move
That
on."
makes sense. Yeah, but again, if we had more of Gideon trolling them throughout the season
Yeah.
and being cruel and evil, then it would make them forgiving her make a little more sense.
Yeah.
The fact that it happened so quick.
No, I agree.
And again, it's just like Why, Bo? Why do you hate Gideon so much? Well, let me explain what happened off screen that you guys never saw, and then that's it. That's all you get. I don't know. I feel like the demonstration of someone's pain or treachery or whatever is just much more impactful than saying what happened.
Well, especially
10 years ago.
a fractured group like that, if they all have a common enemy that they've all that we've all seen be tortured one way or another.
Yeah.
But if we saw those torturing sprinkled throughout the season.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I completely
Like
agree.
if Gideon was back and he captured one of them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't Din, and he didn't make it out of there. Like Kylo was torturing people.
Well, just think how we felt about what's his face, the clone that was taken and they cut off his arm and they were torturing him. God, that was in. Or was that Bad Batch?
What are you talking about?
That they went and maybe it was Bad Batch. But
Maybe
they
it
went
was.
in and broke a clone out because they were using his mind.
Oh yeah, that was Bad Batch.
To
It was Fives, wasn't it? They,
yeah,
like,
but
kinda turned him into a half
the droid armor was using his military mind
to control the droids or something.
no to anticipate the clone's movements.
Yeah, something like that.
So something along those lines. So they went in and broke him out. But think about that. Like if they found,
Yeah.
dude, what if he stole a fucking youngling or a
Right.
foundling
Yes.
and then they find out about it some which way or another and
Not
they go in
Grogu
and,
again. Thank
and they
God.
go in and break this foundling out and then they can use this kid and be like, look what he fucking did.
Yeah.
I don't care what if you're wearing a mask or not.
Yeah.
We're going to fuck this dude up.
Yes.
Because that seems like the one common thing, like the foundling. You don't fuck with the foundlings. I don't care if you
Exactly.
become a cult leader in the Mandalorians or just some.
That's why when Grogu breaks up the fight, it's like no one can say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, again, overall, it's positive. I gotta say, my favorite stuff in this was like all the Imperial stuff, though. Like them all banding together and going to Mandalore was very nice. But yeah, just purely seeing the Council, seeing Pelion on screen for the first time, and the Praetorians and the base on Mandalore was fucking awesome.
How did you? Before I tell you how I felt, how did you feel about that like skiff thing that they were?
I thought it made total sense. So they find something like that when they bump into Captain Rex in Rebels.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
got a
that's a
couple
good
other
point, yeah.
clones, and he's in like some decrepit ATTE that they just retrofit.
Yeah.
So it made sense. But now here, I'll get to the main like.
Felt like
What-
a pirate ship too, though.
Yeah, it did. But I'll get to the main question that's going around the subreddit and theory, waiting for the finale. The title of the episode is "The Spies." So people are wondering like, who is the spy? Obviously, we know that Imperial girl on Coruscant's a spy, but like someone, it feels like they kind of got led into the Imperial base to get captured.
Well, right.
So were those dudes on the skiff working for Gideon?
Oh.
And then here's the real twist: the armor takes the injured people and goes back to the ship and pieces out.
the armor's a
And
spy.
to thicken the plot, Armor, I think, used to be in Death Watch, who followed Maul. So she
Right,
has
she's got those horns,
horns
yeah.
on her helmet. But Gideon's suit has horns on his helmet, too.
Yeah.
I'm the spy. Waiting for that line to come
Right
up.
here, Rambus says, "Is the armor gonna turn on the Mandos?" Heard a few theories.
Well,
Yeah.
if she's the spy, then she already turned on him.
Yeah, I mean, all she's been talking about is like, we need to get the fuck back to Mandalore. Also, I just kind of remembered that Din Djarin was already at Mandalore,
Yeah.
and he just didn't come across anything.
Well, he was in a
He was
different
down in
area.
the fucking depths in the. Dude, he was at the forge.
He went to the bath.
Which was under the main forge. Isn't that right where they fucking were? How did they not see any of these people?
No, he's in the mines
Oh,
where they get the raw material.
which is what
Not
the
in the
Imperials
foundry
were using,
where they
right?
craft
That's
everything.
the whole point.
Foundry's different, I guess, right?
I don't know.
You get the raw material from the cave and then you bring it into the city.
I like the idea
I'm not
that
Steelsmith, I don't
the
know.
armorer is a plant for the Empire,
Yes.
or the whatever you want to call it now.
Yes.
I wish.
Better bust her helmet out. We got to see who the fuck it is.
Are you upset at all that there wasn't any seeds planted? Like any type of hints? Are you happy with it just being like, oh, she could be a spy?
They don't even plant a seed in this one, really.
No.
This is all fan theorizations. I don't know. I'd have to see how it plays out. I'm not fussed about it either way.
See, I like one of the biggest reasons I like Star Wars is the pulled through theories. Like, this happened. Okay, well, from there we could go here, 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 here. But when nothing happens, and
Right.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, nothing's happened with the armor that gives us any
Right.
suspicion. Like, even like with the spy that we saw in Coruscant, like we immediately were like, oh, dude, is she good or bad? Or like, I love that.
If she hadn't had that call with Gideon,
We still
and the
wouldn't.
season
Yeah.
ended, it would be like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
There was no
It
point.
needed to resolve somewhere. I mean, some things are obvious because it just is like, it makes too much sense that it just should happen.
Well, I feel like you could plant some seeds. Like, you could plant some seeds that make us question the armor's motives
Right.
along the way, but still be like, no, she's clearly like good, but still have that in the back of your head. So when it does happen, you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
I can't believe they did it, or they pulled a.
Maybe her very eagerly bringing Bo-Katan into the cult was a little
As soon as she
questionable.
you know what, you're not
Because
wrong.
everyone else was like, I don't know about her. She takes her helmet off, and Armor was like, she's in.
Yeah,
She was in the water. Let's do it.
because she's the one that they've been looking for the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is she's been looking for the Darksaber is probably the number one key. If the armor is truly double crossing everybody, the Darksaber's key.
Doesn't seem
Especially
like she
just think-
wants it though.
But Gideon does.
Right.
So if she's working for Gideon, hey, put this fucking helmet on, go over there, find the Darksaber, become.
I feel like she has to be an actual Mandalorian though.
How do they know?
She knows too much.
She also makes shit up. Didn't she lie to Din Djarin? Wasn't there in season 2, or I'm sorry, not season 2.
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. Because she starts making these claims, and I think even Star Wars fans were like, I don't know if that's 100% accurate.
I don't know if that's a real thing.
Dude, she could have been lying the whole fucking time. I like that idea.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least it's some type of.
We just didn't have any. Yeah, we didn't have any drips, like you said.
But that's again, I like those
Depends
drips.
on how they wrap it up. They could call attention to something that was like very under the radar, but once you realize, then it's like, oh, okay, now I get it.
There's
Those are kind of the best twists at the end of the day.
Sometimes I prefer the stringing along.
The obvious ones.
I don't want to call them obvious,
I know,
but
I know.
the options. I like having options along the way. Like
Yeah.
this person could be this, or this, which means this, and this, instead of
Nothing.
this is who they are, and then 7 episodes later,
all of a sudden.
they're not.
Oh, it's a spy.
It's a spy.
Right.
I'm a spy.
You know, like Hux in episode 9.
See how badly that turned out? That's my point. Like, there was nothing. No indication. 0%.
Well-
he was Hitler in episode 7. And
I guess
then
he
finally get
hated.
9?
He was
Yeah.
really disgruntled about Kylo, but still, whatever.
Have him killed
He was.
and run the fucking Empire.
He was.
He betrayed the whole First Order,
I know.
which makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. The First Order still makes no sense. I'm very eager to see that. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, obviously, the Imperial Remnant's going to become the First Order in one way or another.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen?
Maybe they're going to do it out.
Gideon and Thrawn are going to be so fucking dick hard about making these Force clones that they're accidentally going to make one. His name's going to be Snoke, and they're not going to be able to control him because it's a fucking clone of Palpy, even a failed clone.
Yeah.
And they're like, fuck, what did we do?
Yeah,
Dude,
that's.
can you see the power struggle there, though? Like, if they make a clone,
Thrawn and Snoke.
becomes a thing, and they're like, and Thrawn's like, fuck,
Yeah.
what did we do?
Yeah. That.
And even if okay, so I'm tying this all together. The whole point is to bring Palpy back. That's where we're going.
Unfortunately.
Thrawn is there to do just that.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to control things. What if it was inevitable? It was that Thanos thing that, okay, we're going to bring Palpy back. Here he is. Oh, fuck, it's a Snoke.
Mm-hmm.
Snoke, being a failed Palpy, kills off the rest of them and still continues the fucking thing and creates
Yeah.
a true Palpy. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen at
Yeah,
this
you
point.
need him to get to that next step.
But it was supposed to be Thrawn makes Palpy, end of game.
correct.
But instead, it was a bump in the road with Snoke, and it still happened anyways.
yeah.
I like that, like,
little
Terminator.
detour of First Order.
That Terminator effect. You're never going to...
Correct.
It's going to happen.
Saving grace for the third Terminator movie being actually kind of bad. Or kind of good.
I actually like the third one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was hated on, but it's like plot wise pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that
I'm
she
with
ends
all
up
that.
ends up in the like Sierra Nevada bunker,
Yeah.
and her dad. She was the one.
Her dad starts Skynet.
and she's
He works
there.
for the Air Force, but he started Skynet. Like they fight those crazy ass like robots.
She's there with she's
John
pregnant,
Connor.
doesn't she?
They I don't know if she gets pregnant. I don't think so.
Well, why would they?
But
put
they
John Connor's in there with
I think Arnold's
her. We just jumped somewhere.
I think Arnold is programmed to take them to the base, and they think that they're going to
kill Skynet.
stop
there.
Skynet from launching all the nukes. And they get there and they realize it's like a decrepit base from like the Cold War.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's going to happen. You just have to hide out and survive it and then help rebuild. Which was fucking sweet.
That's one of the coolest
When they get
things.
there and there's cobwebs all over the equipment, I was
Dude,
like, oh,
Stop it.
dude.
That's a cool ass fucking movie.
Yes. Yes.
I
it
just
is.
the only weird part of that movie that I remember is Arnold walking out with the coffin. They're in like a fucking cemetery. He's walking
that's the
out.
best part, dude.
He's just murdering everything.
Arnold carrying something and shooting people. That's the best part. No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, Snoke. Back to Star Wars for a second. Snoke. The ongoing question for me since we saw him is like, is it Palpatine's essence in the wrong body, or is it a version of Palpatine that didn't work, and then a later version when it actually did work? Now Palpatine is like controlling him and telling him what to do. I
But-
still don't know which one it is.
The real question is, does Gideon just have Palpy jizz in tubes?
Well, I don't know if he's trying to do Palpatine stuff.
It's got to be frozen
I
somewhere.
think he's trying to use the clone stuff for his own
Oh, absolutely.
forces.
Absolutely.
So he doesn't have anything with Palpatine. I think he has
So do you think
like Grogu's blood and like some other clone stuff.
is this what you just said? Is Palpy's essence attached to someone right now?
Well, yeah, that's what we don't. I don't know if we know that. Like right after Return of the Jedi, because
You see it kind of
in
whatever.
I don't know if it's Dark Empire, if it's Heir of the Empire, whatever, but like
Dark Empire, yeah.
he goes right into one of his clones that was already prepared,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I don't know if that's what happened in this new canon version, or if he's like Voldemort and Sauron, where he's just kind of like floating around until he latches onto something.
I'm sure they'll
Which,
explain it.
actually, the fact that I just mentioned Voldemort and Sauron, it makes me hate it less, because I feel like that's been a trend in a lot of fantasy stuff before.
I'm okay with it, and it doesn't even have to be attached to a person, because what Disney's done is you can attach stuff to objects.
Yeah, yeah.
So it could be the fucking Darksaber.
His underwear. The Darksaber.
What if I'm saying Palpy's essence
Yeah.
could be trapped in something as cool as the Darksaber?
Yeah. When did he have the Darksaber though?
Well, Maul had it at some point. All I'm saying is that it doesn't have to be the Darksaber,
Yeah, something
but
like the Darksaber.
I don't know how that would have, because why would Gideon be obsessed with the
His essence is
Darksaber?
attached to a TIE Interceptor.
Fine with that, actually.
Yeah, I'm not.
Are you mad the Millennium Falcon never got blown up?
Yes.
The fucking Razor Crest got blown up. That was one of the you won me over with that, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, that looks kind of dopey. And then by the time they blew it up, I was like, fuck,
Damn it.
I like that ship now.
If episode 10 starts and Rey lands on something in the Falcon, you'd be so mad. You'd walk out of the theater. Like, so mad. Chewie shows up. There's porgs everywhere. Fucking BB-8. Get out of here.
You know that's what's gonna happen.
I know.
I'm excited for episode 10. It's such a fresh start. I'm so excited for what they're gonna do with the Jedi.
Sorry, man. I was just crazy.
Stop acting a fool. Just look above you and remember, Luke's got your back.
Force. Visine, please.
Kiss my sister. Force Visine.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. I am very excited to see all of the Imperial Remnant and First Order stuff come together.
Where did
I've been really waiting for that. They really fucking glossed over that hard in Force Awakens, which I guess is fine, because if you think about the original trilogy, it just starts. It's like the Empire sucks. That's just what it is, and then they fill everything else in later. So
do you think
I guess it's fine.
Do you think they're
Yes, I do think
throwing
that.
us for a fool? Like,
What?
are they so slow playing this?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, they did 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
First Order. All our questions are brought about First Order, Snoke, and all this shit.
Yes.
And we know that they're gonna kind of build up into it with all these series. But I didn't think it was gonna be to the extent and to the length of what we've gotten so far. So we've got 3 seasons of Mando. And it's like, all right, we've got the Mandalorians together. That's what's happened in 3 fucking seasons.
Yep.
And Grogu. Grogu was probably the big bombshell.
Yeah, and Gideon and the clone.
But
and
like
stuff.
the real long thing. I mean, like I said, we're starting here, and where we're ending is Palpatine.
Yeah.
Palpatine returning. That's
Well, yeah,
that's
we're
kind of
gonna
the
get-
end game.
We're gonna bump up to episode 7.
But
I
my
guess.
God, we are crawling at the starting line.
I'm fine with that.
But my point is, I think it could pay off if that's the true
It'll
motive.
pay off. I mean, that's the whole reason Infinity War and Endgame were so huge.
Yeah. True, but those movies were good too. I don't mean you know what I mean. All the
Well,
movies leading
no, I'm
up
saying,
had their
like,
own.
You watch all the Marvel movies. Obviously, there's a couple duds along the way, but by the time you get to Infinity War and Endgame, it's like,
That's it.
man, that's just like everything.
But they did it backwards again. So they did Infinity War and Endgame, and now we're watching Iron Man 1. Is what Disney's doing. So with this whole storyline. So we've seen Palpatine return and him get fucking killed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now we're
I
backpedaling and
think
explaining it.
because they were like, do the sequels, and then what's the temperature in the air? What do fans want? And then we just did that.
Rambus thinks
That's kinda my guess.
Thrawn showing up in the finale. I think if he doesn't, regardless of if I'm okay
I
with
think
it.
so.
I'm okay with him not showing up in the actual finale, but as like a
Post-credits.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think because
Or Ahsoka at least, something
Yeah.
directly involved with Thrawn.
I think because they showed him what he looks like on screen at Celebration behind closed doors.
You have to.
I think now, and it's leaked. I think now they're. Well, I think that was obviously already the plan, that he was going to show up here in the finale. You know what I really want? Regardless of what happens on Wednesday, I want them to publish the Acolyte trailer. That's what I want. The 40 seconds that I saw were juicy, and I want to see it in HD, the whole thing.
I will say
Give it to me now.
the Mandalorians outside of KOTOR, I was never the biggest fan of. They are really very slowly winning me over. I do like their culture, but I just haven't seen the badassery. Like, there's always stories about it. Them riding mythosaurs, that's badass. You see Boba Fett do badass things, but he's like borderline not a Mando, so I want to see the culture. And I'm finally kind of getting a taste of, like, I get it. Honor. It's very like Spartan.
Yeah.
Like, we're brothers, yee-ho. Is that what they say?
Yeah, yeehaw. I guess because Boba and Jango were bounty hunters, the vibe that I always got was like, they're not only are they badass warriors, they're like savages. Like, they will murder your entire family. And now whatever Clone Wars and Rebels has established, it feels a lot more like they're the good guys and they have some violent tendencies.
Well, what we've seen is the outliers. Boba Fett and I mean, they're murderers. They're absolute murderers.
They're my favorite.
But that's the exception. The rule is Din Djarin.
I don't like the rule.
So what we're doing is
Din was a savage, bloodthirsty bastard
but
too.
he's clearly learning.
I think because of Grogu.
Um,
Dude, you have a kid and you'd settle down. Unless you're Jango Fett, you teach your kid to kill people. I'm
Hey,
okay with that, dude. That's
gotta
why
make your
he's
way.
my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what they've done is dialed back our expectations of Mandalorians. At least have built them in a different way. 'Cause I agree.
Yeah.
Everything was like Bounty Hunters Guild
Right.
and just feared murderers, killers. And now we look at them and it's like, no, dude, they like shake hands and fight every once in a while, but they are very
Can't
honorable.
eat soup together.
I don't know. I'm trying to like a real world situation. Like, they're not evil.
Correct.
They're just badasses
guess
that you don't
makes
want
sense.
to. They're just badasses that you don't want to double cross.
Yeah.
But like, if I landed on Mandalore as a non-Mandalorian, everyone's gonna give me dirty looks, but they're not just gonna fucking murder me.
Yeah, I'm trying to relate it to something. It's like Game of Thrones, if you hear all these stories about the Dothraki and then you meet one and then you sit down and you realize that they're actually like reasonable people.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Very
they
honorable.
will cut your throat and rape your children.
Yeah.
It's not good. Not cool.
Sometimes it's cool.
And that's that's kind of the picture I always had about Mandalorians. It was like, yeah, you don't mess with them, dude. Don't even look at them.
And then, yeah.
You can't tell under the helmet if they're looking at you or not. Just walk away.
Just walk away.
But, yeah, I mean...
I'm pretty sure Lord Kerner would want to be a Mando, so he could just stare at tits all day, and no one would even know. Do you agree?
Heat vision.
Do you agree?
Yes. I do. I would agree. Yes.
Do you agree? God! I miss that guy.
I know. You got blasted, dude.
But isn't it dumb that that's like episode 3 of the whole fucking...
Okay, there's all right. There's a perfect, actually, what I was trying to explain on last episode with Jack Black and everybody. He's famous, and that was like a great. I mean, so is Carl Weathers, but you know what I mean. Like, we're gonna drop him into like a short role in Star Wars, but he started Mando on a trajectory, and then he kind of finished it off, and he got killed. Like, he actually had a purpose to the story.
Dude, he owned that role,
And he
too.
did. He did.
Absolutely owned that role. But that's the issue. Okay, you brought in a well-known actor. You brought in Jack Black. He's a fucking comedian. I know he's an actor, but he's a fucking comedian.
Well, he's a renowned.
But he's a comedian.
I know.
And
But
then
it was
Lizzo,
a straight cameo. It wasn't like a role.
right.
If that makes sense.
And I want less cameos. I
I want-
want more
I want
roles.
no cameos.
I want
cameos of Star Wars.
I want
characters.
cameos.
I want Caminoans. I want cloners, damn good ones too.
Cloners.
Where's Dexter Jetster, dude?
Dude,
We've been to Coruscant 4 times. I haven't seen Dexter Jetster at all.
He's got a small chain now.
I wanna
He's a
see-
manager. He's district manager of the...
He's franchised his diner, dude. He's got like 40 locations across the galaxy. He's rich as fuck, paying taxes to the Empire.
How do you feel about Carl Weathers?
He's a little stiff sometimes, but overall, I like him and I like the character.
I agree. I think he works better than I thought he would.
Yeah, I love his character.
Maybe that's why I actually liked him more early on. Like when he was handing out the bounty pucks and all that.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's a school now.
fucking school, bro. And maybe that's the whole reason I hate him now. No.
Yeah, no, I'm with you
Magistrate,
there.
but he'll fucking blast it. Don't call his fucking shit
High
at school.
magistrate.
High magistrate. High magistrate.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people don't deliver the weird techie sci-fi lines as good. Oh, I said that last week. Christopher Lloyd fit right in, and even though he was saying some weird droid mech fucking techno union bullshit,
Yeah.
he owned it. Sometimes Carl Weathers will drop like the name of a cruiser, and it just seems like he didn't know how to say that. But
The
who am I?
inner.
It was a school.
It was a school. Elementary.
I don't know. Who am I? Who am I to talk shit?
Yeah, I'm okay with him. I think if he had any more screen time, the less I would like him.
Yeah, that's
He's had a good amount this season, and it's been to that board. They've got to that line, and I was like, all right,
He's got the amount of screen time that Jar Jar should have had.
yeah, it's a school.
It's a school now.
School. I can't believe he killed pirates.
I can't believe the pirates were hired by Gideon. I mean, I can now, but I wouldn't have earlier. The fuck did I just say? Friends, family.
I wish there were more characters.
Well, there's a bunch. We just don't really know anything about any of them except for the armor and Paz Vizsla and Bo-Katan.
You're absolutely right.
There's
I
like
actually,
200 Mandos now.
but think what I just said there. That was one of the huge highlights of Andor. That heist, we got a little bit of snippet backstory of every single one. The young
More
kid,
than a little.
The young kid was writing a fucking manifesto,
Yeah.
and he bounced his
believer.
ideas off of Andor. Loved it.
Yeah.
That one guy, even though he lied, he said, the Empire came in, killed my brother. He was a farmer. Blah blah blah. It's like, okay, I get the motivation. The other chick
That was a lie, though.
I know, that's my point, but we still got something
Yeah.
to go off of.
Scummy bastard.
We know who he is, even though it changed. Like if you ask me, give me who's your favorite Mando outside of Mando in the armor in Bo-Katan? You're like, oh, the
Grogu.
the yellow one.
Grogu.
Why? Fucking yellow one.
The
Because you don't
green
know.
one.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I think we have names for some of the other people that she recruited, but yeah, I don't know.
Is that weird? I feel like there were so many.
It is. Yeah, it is.
There were
weird.
so many characters in Andor. Everywhere you looked, they were involved. They had their own story, and you could see where they were going and their own issues.
Yeah, it's a sensitive line. Like I know what you're saying now. I feel like I know Mon Mothma's husband more as a character.
Yeah.
Than I know like Paz Vizsla.
Dude, I know more.
Like he's big guy that fights.
I know more about the prisoners in like think of Schmeagol. I loved that guy.
Andy Serkis.
I forget his character's name.
Oh shit!
But
so
you
do
just
I.
like immediately like understood.
Right.
That's all in a shit situation. Like it's,
Yeah.
you just get it. I don't know. I think that I'm not.
I am actually.
I should.
I am. So just keep that in mind.
I want more characters, man. I want more people. I want.
I agree.
You know what I do like?
What do you want?
Is the CGI has been fucking top notch.
Especially the ships.
The ships have looked
They made
great.
some sort of leap after
The
season
beasts
2.
have also looked fucking immensely great.
Still having dreams about Zeb. He looked awesome.
Maybe even the setting. So like when they were on the skiff, I was looking around. I'm like, I think they fucking built part of this skiff to have this fight on.
Yeah.
And then there was another scene. I was looking around. I was like, my God, this looks so fucking good.
Yeah, they really took it somewhere.
It
Which makes me excited for Ahsoka and for
Yeah.
Acolyte.
The surroundings have been. I haven't questioned it once. The entire time.
Yeah.
And we've been to quite a few different settings, which has been nice.
Yeah, even that actually was one of the nice things about episode 6, which was mostly disastrous, but that planet was really cool. The whole dome, like the biodome kind of looking thing, and the transport ring around it. All that looked really, really cool. But yeah, everything else was like, what?
Gunga City.
Tis a hidden city. All right. Well, it's time to get ready for the season finale of Mandalore.
Time for the main event.
I'll tell you, that's one thing I definitely miss about watching the UFC was hearing Bruce Buffer just do the announcements. Anyways, fucking Ninjarin versus Moff Gideon. Who will win? All right, y'all. Thanks for slumming with us. We'll catch you after the finale.